Hi, I'm Melius Weideman from Cape Town, South Africa. As part of the website visibility video series, I'd like to talk to you about white hat versus black hat. Both these terms refer to groups of technologies that are used in an attempt to improve the visibility of a website through a process called SEO, search engine optimization, where something is done to try and make sure that a certain website ranks highly up on the result page compared to others. Firstly, let's talk about white hat. White hat technologies is a series of techniques that one can use without trying to misrepresent the actual content to the crawlers. In other words, not trying to show a different picture to what really is the case. I'd like to call that natural content of value in general. There are many examples of things one can do to ensure that you stay on the white hat side, which is the preferred side of the fence. One is original content, and unfortunately it's quite expensive on a large scale to keep on producing content, written content normally, which is original, which is descriptive, which is accurate, and which reads well. But yes, natural content produced by a human preferably is one of the top ways to ensure you stay in the white hat side. Genuine inlinks, or also called backlinks, in other words hyperlinks which point from other websites, various of them, to your website, is another way to ensure legality. By legal inlinks, we're obviously implying there's an illegal side of it, and we'll get to that just now, but this is also hard work. If one tries to create content on other websites which point to yours, it's a time-consuming job, and there are ways to bypass this white hat system which you shouldn't consider. There's also smaller things like well-written anchor text and meta tags, which are discussed in other videos, where small pieces of text that are associated with pictures, for example, and which are associated with hyperlinks on your website should be written again in good English with good keywords if English is the language of your website. And there are others like manual search engine submission, where it's important to make sure that a website is submitted manually to various search engines rather than using automated services. On to black hat techniques. Now, the same way this black hat probably disappears against a black background, you should preferably not be seen wearing a black hat when it comes to SEO. Black hat techniques are unethical practices where mostly it involves people doing things to try and convince the search engines of something that is not really the case. In other words, misinterpreting the content, trying to show content to a search engine, for example, which the human being doesn't see when they visit the web page. I use the term unnatural excess to define black hat technologies. It normally means that you're doing something on a website of which there is too much, and if it's text, for example, and a human being reads it, they'll get a feeling of unease. You know, why is the same word used 4 times in one sentence, for example? So black hat techniques are things one should know about, but preferably not use. At some stage, search engines will, and they probably might, but they certainly will eventually pick up these signals of being a black hat website, and they might ban the website from the index, as it happened in a very famous case, or rather infamous case, in 2006, where the BMW German homepage was blacklisted by Google, and of course it created a big story and pulled attention to this whole thing. The various elements of black hat could be things like link spamdexing, where you're using different methods of obtaining links from the outside into your website, but thousands of them, and often that involves paying a company who claims that they will create 200 or 1,000 links per month for you for a certain fee, and it normally implies that they'll be using machine generated content, which is easy to generate. You press a button and you generate 200 new web pages, for example, and host them somewhere to create this unnatural excess of links pointing to one web page. Another one could be keyword spamdexing, where again keywords are used in excess in text to ensure that those keywords get a higher ranking with the search engines. Duplicate content. Just about everything one can think of has already been written on the internet somewhere. And if you really want to spend a little bit of time to get some content or content scraping, as it's called, from another website, it's very easy to do that. You simply copy it and paste it into your web page and then host that. Of course, that's black hat out and out, because it causes duplication. It's possible that you're stealing content from somebody else who created that legally. And also it creates a bad atmosphere of when you're getting search results and you find the same information appearing on different web pages. So yes, duplicate content is not a good thing. Comes back to the white hat idea of writing your own original content. There are other things like cloaking and doorway pages. Cloaking, for example, which is the idea of presenting two types of content. When a crawler visits a web page, one set of content is presented to it, which is normally chunks of text, pages of text, which no human would like to read. But when a human visitor arrives at the same website, then another actual website is produced for the human to see, which is much more human friendly, but without the necessary keywords and other things to impress crawlers. So in summary, yes, white hat, black hat. Some people even talk about grey hat in the middle. It's sometimes difficult to define the dividing line between the two, but in general, make sure you stay on the white hat side and you stay away from the black hat side.